Welcome to Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush.
And welcome back to the Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and Mama Rush. Mom's not going to be here today, but it is me. We have Nikky Bourbon on here today, who is an incredible singer and songwriter. So we're going to be having her on here today. As for the updates, we're still at 10.4 million, probably going to cross 10.5 today, million viewers and listeners throughout the world. We're in 28 countries in 233 cities throughout the world. And we have, I think I checked correctly, it was 1,066 downloads around the world. Man, I'm stoked. I'm excited. I'm glad that our podcast is resonating with so many people around the world. It's because we connect to the people around the world. One of our themes of this podcast is everyday people, and everyday people represented on this podcast. And we have them on as guests. So we're excited for how we continue to grow, how many people this is impacting, how many people get an opportunity to finally put their story out there. Because oftentimes in life, I know firsthand, you don't always get to tell your side of the story, or well, not side of the story. I mean, you don't always get to know your story told. Like no one knows what I went through in order to get those 77 TV shows and movies throughout my career in New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, Miami, Virginia, Chicago, South Carolina, and Mexico. But it was a lot of hard work and dedication and performing at open mic nights to be seen. And I was blessed to build a career from that, and then to build a pickup team, build my team from there. Agents that believed in me and my mission and what I was trying to accomplish. So I am using this platform to bring attention to a whole lot of people. The casting community, which is a big reason my career is the way it is today. Like I owe them everything because they believed in me first before anyone else did. They're the ones that gave me the opportunities. They're the ones that came to those open mic nights and saw me perform and called me in from those open mic nights because they believed in what I was capable of doing. And so that's why I have so many of them coming on here, and those 77 TV shows and movies that I've been in. I have so many of those casting directors, casting associates, and casting assistants that are coming on this podcast and telling their stories, and as well as crews, directors, and writers, and executive producers that I've worked with that have blessed my life. They blessed my family's life. When my dad was still alive, my dad passed away from pancreatic cancer 9/7/2021. And because of those people in the movie business to believe in me, Britt Sanborn, Jim Clemente, Siobhan O'Connor, Blue Bloods, like people like that kept me, even though I stepped away from the business for 18 months to take care of my dad. They always let me know that I had a home there on their shows, and I could always return when I was ready. So it has been a blessing to me. It's a blessing that I was able to be there with my dad during those times, because I'll never get that back, but that they were able to understand that. So here goes Nikky. We're going to have her on here right now, and here she comes. Okay, I see the headshot. This meeting is being transcribed. Okay.
Hi.
Hey, Nikky, what is
How
going
are
on? Good. How are you doing?
Good. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles.
It really is. I can tell by the sun shining in the background, and then you look very radiant and whatnot. Can you hear?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry. You broke up for a second there.
Oh no, it's
I'm
okay. No, you're good. If it breaks up a little bit, I'll just pause a bit. But yeah, I guess you are a little bit broken up. Can you hear me now? It's okay. You just let me know.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm not
can
sure
you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can. Sometimes if you have the earbuds in, I'm not sure if you're using earbuds. Sometimes it's better without, but it's up to you.
Okay, I'll take them off. It's just like there's so much going on right now. I'll take them off, and then you tell me what's better for you. Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
There's just like helicopters flying around. There's like LA is just always full of action, you know.
Okay. Well, shoot, I might. So you're gonna laugh at this, Nikky. I might be wrong. You might actually be better with the headphones in.
Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all.
Yeah, put it back in.
What the heck? Why can't I hear you?
Nikky, actually keep them in. You're right.
Okay.
Keep them in. I was wrong.
We're struggling out here. We're struggling. It's okay. Troubleshooting, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I know. There's no snare in my headphones.
Where are you?
Right now I'm in South Carolina with my mom. Because I'm splitting time between here in New York right now with work, and then Arizona, and then so I'm staying really busy.
Oh, you all over the place.
Yeah, honestly, that's the way it's been since 2018 when my career started being on both coasts. I spent my life in the airport pretty much. So I've been going back and forth.
I travel a lot too.
Oh, you do?
I
Just
do.
with work or singing or what?
Everything, just like work, singing. I'm originally from the East Coast, so we'll get
Where on the
into
East
that.
Coast?
There's a lot to get into. I grew up in North Bergen, New Jersey, which is like right outside of Manhattan, like 4 miles
Yeah,
from
no, yeah,
Manhattan. But
yeah.
I was born in the Bronx, and then my dad
Okay.
is from El Barrio. So
Your dad
yes,
is from where?
El Barrio, like Spanish Harlem.
Oh, I didn't. Now that part I didn't know. I never knew about that until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, my dad is from Spanish Harlem.
Okay, and then where's your mom from?
She's from Brooklyn.
Damn. Okay.
But
Not
they're Puerto Rican, but they're
okay.
New Yorkers.
New Yorkers. I like that. I've actually I like that a lot. Yeah, Nikki, I appreciate you giving me the background. It's all about you today. Literally, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come talk to me. So we're gonna get
Thank
in
you.
fully into you, your life being a New Yorican.
Being a New
Yeah.
Yorker.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk a little bit about you. It can't just be only about me. Like we have to talk a little bit about you.
Okay. I mean, we can if you have. Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to, we can. I've been.
Yeah, sure.
Most people know me on the show already. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's we'll do both. So
Actually, this is your show. We do it how you want to do it. I just
okay,
didn't want to be
well,
outside. I just didn't want to be selfish.
no, you're not being selfish. And the thing is, I'm asking you to be selfish. I want you're not even
Okay.
being selfish. I'm getting to know you because this is my first time actually talking to you outside of Instagram.
Right.
So I'm getting to know you and build this friendship from there.
Right.
So Nikki, you are originally from New York, but you're a singer. I love your music, by the way. I've been listening to your
Thank you.
The ones that you've been posting. Tell me about how you got into singing.
Thank you. Oh my God, it's such a crazy story, like
Let's
long
go.
story too.
Yeah,
All right,
let's go.
so when I was in fourth grade,
Yeah.
I remixed TLC's Waterfalls with my own lyrics. And when I was in eighth grade, I started battle rapping.
Oh wow. Seriously.
No, not seriously, because who can do that seriously in eighth grade? But I was really just about that life. Like I was like, yo, like in high school, I was like, yo, I'll battle you right now. But
Yeah.
like, let's go. So
Yeah.
I've always been into poetry, writing, reading, lyrics, words, things like that. And then it just ended up, I just started creating my own kind of just twist on things. And then when I was in college, I got GarageBand and I started recording myself on GarageBand.
Okay.
And then it kind of got to the point where it was like, oh, like this is something that you really love to do.
Yeah.
So I got introduced to Shy Bugs, who now is like a multi-platinum producer. He did a lot of stuff for Fetty Wap and a lot of other artists. And he did my first project. And
really?
it was history from there. I'd never stopped. I've just been working with whoever I can work with, collaborating with whoever I could collaborate with. And it's been a very blessed experience. I've been able to work with people that I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And producers that I could have never dreamed of being able to work with. And then, my music started to place on like sync on like TV shows and commercials and things like that. And it was just like it's been a crazy journey.
Absolutely. Wait, Nikki, first off, I'm going to get right back to you. Give me 1 second. I got to pause it for 1 second.
Yeah.
I don't have my watch. I feel naked without my watch.
You feel naked.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry, that's I just feel naked sometimes. I even check my earrings. Nikki, so you're battle rapping in high school, in grade school. Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's
writing poems, winning poetry contests, like things like that. Yeah.
Were you in New York? You're in New York, right, at this time?
No, North Bergen.
Okay, gotcha. I was wondering if you went to one of the art. You know how like New York and New Jersey have those art schools? I didn't know if you went to one of those.
LaGuardia? No, I'm not that cool. I went to North Bergen High School.
Well, you know what? You're cooler than that. Period. Seriously.
I ended up being cooler than that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, sometimes that pushes you more in lifetime. Like if you're not being seen or heard, but yeah, you're out here doing like Eminem, battling in these competitions. What are those competitions like that you did?
No, I wasn't doing battle competitions. I mean, like
poetry.
Oh, poetry. Yeah. So my seventh grade teacher submitted me. I believe it was my seventh grade teacher that submitted me for a poetry competition. And then I ended up like winning. And I don't even remember what the name of it was. This was very, very long time ago. But I just remember him reading my essay out loud in class and just getting a lot of validation from
Yeah.
my teachers that I was an excellent writer. And you know, I've always been very creative in that way. I would do school projects and be very excited to lead the team and produce something creative, like whether it was like visually creative or dancing creative or
Yeah.
performance related. Like I was always into curating performances and spoken word and writing and singing, and like it was always like my thing. So
wow, that's actually freaking awesome. And that was,
yeah.
I guess it's just, were any of your, were your parents or any of them like musically gifted like that? It's got to come from somewhere.
Oh my God, my mom cannot, like my mom can sing the whole song in the wrong note.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole song. I don't understand it. It's crazy. I'm like, how do you like not hit one note right? She's
Yeah.
like tone deaf completely. My dad is actually decent singer. Yeah, my dad is pretty decent
Okay.
singer. But I think that yeah. But I think that I don't know. It just came natural. I think
Yeah.
to be honest, if I had to really attribute it to any one thing, I think I've always just been a reader.
Okay.
And I think that like my love for words and my love for storytelling and my love for vocabulary came from like just being a reader. And then
Yeah.
obviously someone wrote the books that I love, right? So then I was
Yeah.
like, I can write too. So
I think that's absolutely amazing because like you realize that obviously you
yeah.
have a talent that not many people have. That's like that puts you in like I say even a 5% category because not maybe even 2% because I know not everybody can sing, write, or do poetry.
Yeah. I honestly think that I'm not the most amazing singer. I think that that's something that I had to work really hard on.
Yeah.
My natural gift, like I definitely know how to sing, but that's because I've worked really hard at that. I think that my natural gift is for sure songwriting and writing.
Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, because I mean, I guess it started from an early age. If your teacher, do you remember that teacher's name in 7th grade? What is his or her name?
What was his name? It was Mr. Oh my God, he's gonna hate me.
It's
He's
all
gonna hate
good.
me. It was
I
Mr.
just want to give you
Spina.
a shout out.
Mr. Spina.
Mr.
Mr.
Spina.
Spina.
Okay.
Mr. Spina read my essay out loud for the class, and he was actually a journalist for a newspaper.
Really?
I don't remember which newspaper it was. Yes, the Jersey Journal, I think.
Okay.
So I was really I was really hyped that like he validated me that I was a good writer. And then, but the first teacher that ever told me I could sing was
that?
my 4th grade peak teacher, Miss Rosalind. Well, I forgot her name. I'm really bad.
It's all good. You didn't know I was going to ask you these questions today.
Miss Rosalind. I'm just gonna call her Miss Rosalind. But I remember I remixed TLC, and she was like, "Oh, girl, you could sing," and I was just like, "I really like." I was in 4th grade, like da, 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 you know, doing my thing. I was like really into it. People were remixing Jingle Bells, and I was remixing Waterfalls.
I know,
like,
right?
I
Don't go chasing.
And I did the rap part.
Yeah. Oh my
For
gosh.
real. I was like,
yeah. No. I'm like so impressed with you. And by the way, whenever you do karaoke, do you ever do your remix of that TLC song whenever you're doing karaoke? If you do karaoke.
No, because I think so I love karaoke, but my go-to song is probably You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
Oh my gosh, really? Who hurt you? I'm just joking. Like that's such a good song though. That's such a good song, but who hurt you? Like that's such a good song.
Yo, I love that song, and I love I'm Going Down by Mary J. Blige.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Mary, you can't go wrong with that one. Those are two very different ones, but that shows your range. You have that kind of range? Please let me know. Please let me know.
Yes, I think that
you're good.
Yeah, I think that like I think my versatility is so another huge like person that I look up to is Rihanna.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of her versatility. And you know, I resonate with her a lot because she's Caribbean and I'm Caribbean, and she's done records in everything from dance hall to EDM to rock to like alternative to R&B to trap, and like
Yeah.
I always like, I feel like I resonate a lot with that. And even just her personality, like
Yeah.
I feel like I resonate so much with her, as she has the same friends her whole life. Like I'm very much like that. I still have the same friends since when I'm 4 years old. And you know, I keep my family close, and I'm very humble and grounded in that way. And
Yeah.
I'm very loyal in that way, but I also just love to experiment with new sounds. And I'm into all music, like every genre you could possibly imagine, like everything from metal to hip hop to, you know, soft rock to Spanish music, salsa, reggaeton, you know, urbano, bachata. Like I just love music. I love all of it. I love the blues. I love Smokey Robinson and
Okay.
BB King and
Yeah.
Johnny Cash and Bob Marley, and like we could just keep it running, and Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra, and like I love music. I love all of it.
You're like a Spanish soul sister. Well, I guess you.
Spanish soul sister.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. You got that going for you. I think that's. I mean, that's so good that you have that, like that you love all those genres, because I think it's important, because all those genres, a lot of those genres borrow from other people or borrow from those
Right.
different groups. So for you to be leveled up and like realizing that along the way. So here's my question along those lines. As you're going through fourth grade, you realize you're remixing TLC, Don't Go Chasing Them Waterfalls, and your teacher's like, hey, I can sing. And then you're realizing that your other teacher in the seventh grade is like, hey, you're really good at poetry. How do you start? How did you continue to work on that? Like going through high school, and where'd you go to college too? I know that's two questions there, but
So where did I go to college, or when?
yeah, where did you go to college?
I went to Rutgers.
Oh, really? What did you study?
I went to Rutgers. Yeah. I majored in communications, and then I had a psych theology minor.
Okay, so yeah, you knew you were gonna. At least you knew you were gonna be towards TV. I did communications too in college.
It's funny because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and honestly, I like psych more than communication.
Really? Yeah, because
Yeah.
I guess you're gonna understand people and know what makes them tick and whatnot.
Yeah, I love, you know, I do struggle with front of camera. I don't think that's like my nature. I think I'm more of
Really?
a deep, introspective. Yes. That's why the artist thing for me has been, I would say, less career than the songwriting thing. Like I've done so much more songwriting than being an artist.
And
And that's because I think I'm naturally just more not shy, because I can put on a show, but I think
yeah.
my nature is more like spaces where I can be deep and introspective and intentional and like one-to-one. Like I love connecting that way, you know. So that's why being
Well,
in the studio was such an amazing experience, because
no, I'm listening.
you get to be, to me, being in the studio is my favorite thing in the world. It's more
Yeah.
amazing than being on set of a music video or performing live. Like I just love the intimacy of the studio and expressing my feelings, and just me and the mic and me and the producer, and like just making this, like making a song. Like the making of a record from scratch is literally like my favorite thing in the whole world.
Man, how long does that process, like, it's interesting that you say that, because like I'm just thinking in general, like, do you think that has anything to do with, well, one, you like it because that's just you enjoy that process, like the process is very rewarding. And what is that kind of process like whenever you're doing that in the studio for a person that doesn't know? Let's say you're explaining that to someone that doesn't know.
Oh, it just kind of depends on the everybody has a different creative process.
Yeah.
So
What's yours?
What's mine? So I like to work in the studio.
Okay.
I love just creating something from scratch. I kind of like typically have two processes. Either I start something from scratch with a producer that I'm super close with. Like we have to be we have to be really good friends, right? And then we can do something from scratch. I have maybe 3 or 4 producers that I feel that way about, that I'm like, oh yeah, like we're gonna do this from scratch. We're gonna, because I'm also a producer in that way. Like I can kind of tell you, like, okay, this is how I want the drums, this is what I hear for the strings, this is like, you know, so that's part of it. Or if I'm doing a writing session, producers will come in and they'll have beats already made.
Oh, nice.
And when they're already made, that's also really fun for me, because I feel like I get to paint on someone else's art
Canvas.
that's stamped by them, that's somebody else's form of expression, that's someone else's identity, and like we're co-creating something so uniquely us, right? Because
Yeah.
they are bringing 50% of it to the table, and then I'm bringing another 50% of it to the table. Although I will say that the mixing aspect of it is an art in itself, right? So the engineering aspect of itself, like a song can, like the engineers are truly like the most underappreciated, most invaluable part of the process.
Really?
Because because the way they approach your vocals, the way they approach the production, the way they manage the levels or put the effects over the record is truly like it's the toppings on the ice cream, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the sauce. It's like it's so important.
Yeah.
It's gonna give it the flavor, you know. So
And then Nikki, here's my question, if you don't mind explaining, because you're explaining it to me like this, because I'm pretty sure people are gonna want it. Our fans are gonna know. The engineer is a person that's on the drawing board, on the board, the deck board, moving the things, making sure the sound and all that is correct. Is that correct on that part?
Yeah, they're like sound scientists. So they basically, so they work in a variety of different ways. So like basically the producer is the person who creates the beat, right?
Okay.
Or it's the person who arranges, and you can co-produce it. So like I'm considered a producer, even though I don't sit there and push buttons, because I can come up with a drum pattern. I can come up with a string melody or tell you what I want to hear. That's also a form of production, right?
Gotcha.
But producers are typically like the ones that are putting everything together, putting all the sounds together with like in a digital format. Typically, like, I mean, you can do it live too, but we're talking about digital right now. And a lot of times producers are also engineers. And when you get a producer engineer, oh my God, you hit the lottery, because they can do everything. They can do everything. Like they literally do everything. They can chop up your drums, they can chop up your sounds, they can create your sounds. And then they also know how to make your vocals sound beautiful. Like they add the perfect effects. They level everything out. They just make it sound so good. And, you know, and then me, I come in with my arrangement skills, my composition skills, my writing skills, and then obviously my voice, because that's all a part of it. And then you obviously, after you do your recording session with an engineer, which can happen in a multitude of ways. Either you're doing it from scratch, or somebody brings the beat and then you record over the beat. Or, you know, you get the beat in your email and you bring it to the studio and then somebody else records it. But then afterwards you have to send it to an engineer that can mix it, right, and master it. And that's a whole separate process in itself. A lot of times though, really good sound engineers will, like, you'll leave the studio with your song sounding good enough to push play right away. And I have a few sound engineers that are just like wizards like that, and are truly like masters of what they do. And shout out to them, because the engineers, they really truly run the game.
I hear exactly what you're saying. Like, that's honestly, the equivalent of that would be, just kind of put in perspective, would be like casting directors would be that way in the acting business, because they're the ones that are putting together all those pieces of people being the right character for each thing. But I mean, not the technical part of like the audio and stuff like that, but just like together in the acting thing. Question for you, Nikki. When you're coming to picking out your producers, for instance, when I look for different people in the show, immediately when I came out with the show, I knew I was going to ask you. I knew that from the get-go. It was just getting you, because I think that you were extremely talented. And I knew that you have I could tell that you're talented, and I can tell that you're special. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to know what this girl's story is, or woman. Sorry, I say girl sometimes, but I don't mean it.
I'd rather be a girl than a woman.
Okay, yeah, it just
I want to be young.
So
I want to be young forever.
Yeah, hey, you look great. You look great. If Shakira had a sister, you'd be it for sure.
Oh, thank you. I love her. She's gorgeous.
What's that?
She's gorgeous.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, you take after her for sure. How do you go about, so with me coming out, like for me saying like, hey, like I want to get Nikki on here because I know Nikki has an amazing story to tell. She's also in the music business. This is something I saw your videos, which I think is amazing. How did you go about finding those producers? For instance, when you're looking on social media, or like, I'm like, how do you know that this person is the person that you're going to go with? Or wanting to meet that person?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. So I think that, like, for me, I think that what makes an amazing artist is just having good taste, right?
Okay.
Like whether you're a director or an actor or whatever your talent is, like
Yeah.
if you can tell what's good and what's not good, you're ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
So I think that part of being a good artist and songwriter is about being a good A&R, right? So I
Yeah.
just have to have good ears. And
Yeah. Yeah,
like
true.
that happens in a multitude of ways. Like I can just listen to someone's music, and if I connect with it and melodies come to my head, I know that we have chemistry, and I'm like, I want to work with you, you know?
Yeah.
I'm more of an in-person type of worker. Like I
Yeah.
like my process. So I like to work with people that I can actually be intimate with as far as like creation process, and like get in the studio with them.
Yeah.
It's sometimes I'll work remote. Sometimes like if somebody sends me something and it's like they're like, oh Nick, like please, like I hear you over this, and if I listen to it and I really like it, then I'll probably book a session to do that. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I like in-person connections with people. Like a lot of times LA is full of such talented people. Miami's full of such talented people. New York
Yeah.
is full of such talented people. It's not hard for me to meet musicians and play, and then them play me their stuff, and then me want to co-create or get referred, you know, like people will say, oh, you have to meet this person and like work
Yeah.
with this person. And I think that like in general, it's just such a communal like industry that it's always just been kind of like, oh hey, do you do music? I do music. Okay, cool. Do you want to work? Let's work. And then just making magic with the people that I connect with and that I vibe with, and it's just
Okay.
it's just very organic.
All
But
right.
I have also been aggressive when there's specific people that I want.
You
Like I'll
have to
go
be.
up to you on an airplane. Like I will go up to you and be like, yo, I know
Heck
who you
yeah.
are. Listen to my music. Like I want to work with you.
Yeah.
And I'm not
That's what
afraid
you
to
gotta
get
do.
rejected. I'm not afraid to get rejected because I didn't get to this point by not getting rejected.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm the same way, but I absolutely love that. And so many people aren't that way. So many people think A, it's going to be handed to you, or B, you're too timid. Is the answer. My mom always says this, and she's not on here today, but she'll probably want to come talk to you another time. So I'm going to have you back. She will always say the answer is always a no unless you ask. And so for you to go up, you might as well. And fortune favors the bold. Like if you don't go and ask, the answer is always going to be a no. So you have to. Like I've known
Exactly.
in my career, it's got me in trouble sometimes. Which I'm like, hey, you know what? I'd rather get in trouble and then at least say I tried it than to go be beat myself. Like, oh damn, why didn't I do that at that time?
Closed mouths don't get fed, baby. And you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And the thing is, though, this isn't muscle that you have to build, because I wasn't always this way. I used to be terrified of rejection.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually paralyzed by my fear.
Really?
For a long time. Yes. I went through imposter syndrome. I went through being paralyzed by my fear. I went through like being afraid of rejection. And I think that I say this to say that anyone who struggles with these things that's watching, like you got to develop the parts of you that are weak at the free throw line. Like you just gotta practice, and you just gotta build up you'll get there. But no one starts at anything really good at it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's okay.
Oh
you don't start at anything really good at it. Whether it's getting rejected, nobody's good at getting rejected right away. Nobody's good at their craft right away. Nobody's good at dating right away. Nobody's good at cooking right away. Like nobody's just, I mean, sometimes you may have natural inclinations towards things that you're like, oh, okay, yeah. But for the most part, like, yo, we're all blank canvases and we all suck at everything until we apply ourselves, you know?
Yeah, I do know. I wanted to say, when you say, I always say that to my friends. My friends laugh that I say that. I'm like, you miss half the shots you don't take. So I take all them S words. I always say I take all those shots because I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to fail. But like you, I didn't always have that. Honestly, it actually took me stripping for Betty White to develop that. So like where
stripping?
Yeah, I stripped for Betty White one time. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. And shout out to Betty White.
She was awesome. Yeah, it was on a TV show in front of a live audience. It's called Young and Hungry. I'll send you the clip. It's called Young and Hungry. I went going into that audition in LA. I literally was like, I don't care who shows up today. They're going to lose because I can dance really well. So I'm like, whoever shows up today, they're going to lose. So I went in there. I was in a 3-piece suit. I danced and I stripped for two casting directors. We were both male. And when I finished, they were like, man, that was amazing. And so I ended up booking this part. It was in front of a live audience. And honestly, to this day, I've never felt so comfortable and so confident in my life until when I was dancing, stripping for Betty Wright and Emily Osment in front of that live audience of 70 people. I've never felt so confident. But after that point is where, yeah, like, but as you said, like, I was insecure before, but at that point, all my insecurities, I kid you not, died off.
Because what are you gonna do at that point? Fuck it. You there. You got a whole audience of people watching your ass. You better shake them. You better shake them, Nalguitas. You better shake them.
And I did. I broke it down for him. I broke it. And Betty afterwards said I always say that she was lying, but she was doing it because she was a sweetheart. She said that was the best day of work she ever had, and she gave me a hug. And for me, at that time, being a young actor at that time, like, it gave me such confidence.
Probably was.
Well, yeah. Yeah, she might have been telling the truth. I because she was so good at comedy and making everybody feel at home that I, like, when she said that to me and gave me the hug, like, my soul was complete, you know, at that point. Like, I'm like, hey, I've arrived. Like, she's giving me the go ahead that I'm ready to go do what I'm going to do in this world.
I mean, that's an iconic, like, moment that, like, that's the type of moment that you replay on your deathbed and you're like, my life was lit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's gone through my career. A lot of people don't know that about me, but some do. Like, but it's interesting. It's one of those things I always carry with me. But I'll send you the clip when we're afterwards.
I'm carrying it with me from now on too. Like
Yeah, it was a blessing. But going back to that, how did you, Nikky, though? How did you become? You said that you didn't always have that. You had like the imposter syndrome, and you said stepping to the free throw line and taking those shots. What was it for you that started getting you to break out of that? Like, hey, you know, I really am this good. I'm not being an imposter. I actually have this talent. I have this God-given talent.
Oh my God, the confidence, you mean?
Yeah.
When did I get it?
Hell yeah, I mean the confidence.
Yo, this is gonna be a very unexpected answer, but I think that once I had my son.
Okay.
Because I was just like, nothing really else matters. Like, I was putting all this pressure on myself to be like somebody in this world, like something, somebody, and good enough and worthy. But like, I am good enough to be someone's mom. Like, what? Like, this is the most important. I am someone's whole universe. Like,
yeah.
What? Like, why was I tripping about anything else ever?
Yeah.
Amen. Like, I don't know. I guess I got upgraded into the most important job a person could have. And then everything else just became so small and insignificant.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to have to wait until they have kids to be set free of that.
Yeah.
So I just want to like give you the cheat code. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's really not that
down,
serious. Down. It's really not that serious. It's really, whatever you're making big, it's not that fucking serious. I'm sorry, curse, but it's not.
No, you're good.
It's really not. I promise you, it's really not. There's way more important things happening in the world than whatever's going on in your head about you. You're not that important. Like,
yeah, seriously. So in a way, you're not just singing for yourself, you're singing for your son too. But it's your son helped you kind of unlock that, because now you have this. Kids are always watching. I always say that. I'm a prime example. I am who I am today, and the reason I don't take shit from anybody, and the reason I accomplished so much is because I saw how hard my parents worked 2 jobs. My mom, I mentioned her before. She'd be she literally, when I go to sleep at 11 o'clock at nighttime, she would be up all night studying for her test, her pharmaceutical test. And the next morning when I was going to school, she'd be up still studying for that test. And she
made me cry.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. But she was saying that she had to go out and beat the best of them, because she knew her family depended on it. And that means the world to me. And I like, the reason I have a chip on my shoulder, a good one though, a positive one that I use in a positive way, and a go-getter. The reason I don't give up is because once she did all that, I used to see that. My dad also, before he died of pancreatic cancer, he gets me choked up too. It's all good. He worked 2 jobs too to provide for us, and he did everything he could. And he always talked about not giving up and even fighting through pain. And when he battled pancreatic cancer for 18 months, he showed exactly what he didn't complain. He did that chemo every day. And so I have all that is within me. And so I go out now, and I've been able to, I call myself a train because I run through people. Like, when it comes to me reaching my goals and not letting people stop me, because for firsthand, people in this business, in our business, will throw things at you, monkey wrenches. Friends will do that too, to keep you from reaching your goals. So leading back to why I said your son is always watching is because I was one of those kids that was watching my mom and my dad perform. So your son is out here seeing you, everything you do, and then you being confident, being that confident mom that's there for him and supporting him in all kinds of ways. I know that he looks up to you as his world.
Oh my God, I received that, and thank you for sharing that about you and about your story. And I'm truly, truly touched, and I'm humbled, and I'm grateful that you shared that with me. And honestly, I really just hope my little boy could love and appreciate me the way you love and appreciate your mom.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I think that a lot of us put pressure on ourselves to be this person for the world, or be this person for all these people that we don't know, when we don't
Yeah.
realize that we are that person. We're already that person for the people in our lives that love us,
Yeah.
and we've touched the people in our lives that we're so close to so deeply. And that, like, if we really just reel it back and we just look at what we have now,
Yeah.
and the things that we have now, we've already made such monumental and huge impact in the people that love us lives.
Amen.
You
Preach,
know,
sister.
and I think, yeah, and I think that grounded me, and I think that becoming a mom truly grounded me and made me realize, like, I am important.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
matter. Matter of fact, I would jump in front of a train or a bear or anything for this little life.
Yeah.
So nothing really else. I'm not
Matters.
scared of anything anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of anything anymore.
Oh man,
Like,
I love that.
yeah, what is
You
there to
make
be
me
afraid of?
proud. I'm so glad you're
Yeah,
making me proud. Yeah.
yeah, there's
It's
nothing to be afraid of. So
and I'm proud of you. I'm proud
thank
of you
you.
for you to be able to, as I said, some people go through life not realizing that. And then here it is, you realize this within yourself. And like I hope that the listeners that tune into this, because we have 10.4, we're gonna have 10.5 million tonight.
Look at you.
Yeah,
Look at you go.
only 2 months.
Teach me.
Yeah.
Teach me.
But the thing is, I am more than happy to, because my thing, you know what I realized it was actually, because Instagram made me a content creator too, was I've, just like my parents, I learned it from my parents. I've always been a person that's giving and always trying to help people. And I always talk to everybody. I make friends every day. My dad was like that, about connecting people. I realized that I knew all the wrong that was done to me, literally all the wrong in life and in business. I'm like, hey, I'm going to do the exact opposite. And I think that, and I'm going to give people a platform, because my mom actually helped me realize, she's like, Brandon, you don't understand. You're a star yourself in your acting world. You've been in 77 TV shows and movies. You're a star yourself. So I realized through that, and then hear my dad talk to me that, hey, Brandon, you have everything you need within you. You worked with all these people, and you know all these people. You can bring them all into this podcast and allow people to tell their stories. Like, I've always loved learning people's stories. So with this Buckle Up podcast, the thing I wanted to do
This is so wholesome. We are so cute.
Oh,
so
thanks. I mean,
wholesome.
it's the truth. Well, my mom was thinking about going back to work. I'm like, I can't have that at her age. And then my nephew was afraid of not being able to go to college. So I stayed up for 4 days. 4 days. Well, I did 18-hour days and then 24-hour days. I created an AI patent for that. And then I created the Buckle Up podcast. And then I went to University of South Carolina, where I graduated from. Asked my journalism professor if he'd come in and I could interview him for the first episode of the Buckle Up podcast, which we did. And so that, using all the people I know and trying to help people out with the connections that I have, it's like, hey, why not? So many of us go through stuff and no one will ever get a chance to hear your story. Why come on this earth and not make a difference? So with this, at least it's helping. I wanted to help kids out with the ways that they could go to college. So I appreciate you saying how you went to college. That was good. But I've had military people on here that explain that you can go to the college for the military. I've had people that have gone straight into the workforce. So there's something here for everybody. And there's a platform where I'm allowing people on, as long as they're not doing something crazy, you know what I mean? Like, but I want to be able to help people. So I feel like I appreciate you coming on, because your story is going to help many. And why not? Like, how many people could have helped you out and didn't? Probably a lot.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because I started my own company to manage my own likeness.
Oh, tell me about
right?
it, if you want to.
Yeah. So basically, I got signed to Symphonic Latino, and I didn't have any education on how to manage my budget. And, like, management companies and distribution companies, they'll support you, but they don't really get in the weeds with you like that unless you're super lucky. And well, my budget got mismanaged. And so I was just like, you know what, I need to lock in and like really build my company and learn I have to be self-sufficient. I can't rely on anybody to get me to where I need to go. But essentially, like, I ended up launching an internship program because of my friend Hala Taha, who's one of the number one education podcasts in the country, and she taught
Oh
me.
wow.
She told me to do it, and I did, and I ended up falling in love with that process of mentoring girls.
Yeah.
And it became personal for me because I was like, man, this music industry has been really ugly to me. And
Yeah.
and I've experienced a lot of things that I never want anyone to experience. And I got very attached to the girls that I was mentoring, and
Uh-huh.
it was personal for me. And I was like, you know what? I want to create a safe space for women so that they never have to go through what I went through.
Amen.
And
Good.
so I resonate a lot with what you're saying about paying it forward and giving back and not doing to people what was done to you.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think that, yeah, and
you're a
I
kindred soul.
totally, yeah, and I totally feel that. And I feel that on a very deep, deep, deep level, because I think that when you experience abuse of any kind or pain or hurt, like, you know, you have one of two options. You either repeat it or you don't ever want to repeat it.
Yeah.
And I think that for people like you and I think we're just committed to breaking that cycle,
Yeah.
and you know, however way we can, and creating a little bit of hope in the world, and a little bit of love, and a little bit of safety, because we never had it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this industry has been very, very brutal to me. I've
Yeah.
had horrible horror stories, and you know, imagine being a woman in this
Yeah.
industry.
A lot.
And
Bullshit.
it's a lot. It's a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of disappointment, a lot of disrespect, a
Yeah.
lot of abuse. There's a very dark side to it, you know.
Yeah.
And there's no human resources department. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
This it is what it is. Arts and entertainment can be very, very dark.
Yeah.
And I think for me, just, you know, protecting my girls, that was
Yeah.
my thing. It's like, I'm gonna protect my girls. I'm gonna do what I can do to show them that they don't need to take any bull crap from anyone, and that,
Yeah.
you know, you don't need a seat at anybody else's table. You just make your own.
Amen.
You just make your own.
Yeah. I love don't get me hype right now. I call myself a different kind of preacher. You're getting me hype because I appreciate what you're doing. And you're right. As a woman, as a man, I don't have to go through the stuff the bullshit that you guys have to go through, because there's pieces of shit out there. I don't usually cuss in this, but it pisses me off because I know that you've had to deal with that kind of stuff. I am grateful though that all those people are getting that justice due to them. All those people that have been doing that stuff, it's finally coming back. The roosters are coming back to crow, I think there's a saying, because of all that stuff that they have done to women and men too. And it's hopefully that starts clearing out the business more and letting people to have. You shouldn't have to sell your soul or sell your body in order to be able to show that you have talent, and a lot of people do that, and it's or compromise your morals.
Right.
Then again, some people don't have any morals at the other part of that. But it's like, but you know what? That will take long. Sometimes it takes longer for you and me, which has taken a long time for me but I can say at the end of the day, I never compromised my morals. I stuck by the good. I am sending the elevator back down because why wouldn't I help out someone who is going through I've been through it myself, but it's like, why can't it doesn't hurt me any to help out someone else. But so many people have that, especially out in Los Angeles, have that have that mentality, because I never experienced that in New York at all, or Atlanta, or anywhere else. I just experienced it in Los Angeles. So so I'm what is the name? Do you want to mention the name of that internship thing that you do, or mentorship?
Well, right now I'm not taking anyone from me. Actually, yes, I could. Nikky Bourbon. It's just Nikky Bourbon. You guys can hit me up on the DM if you're interested, or email. They can email me. I have internship opportunities available. We have opportunities to teach you about sync licensing, cross departments, cross businesses. You know, I've gotten into serial entrepreneurialism, so I'm working on a few different things. And there's opportunities to just kick it with me.
Hey, I love it.
Kick it with me.
Absolutely. No, Nikky, I love it. I love what you're doing. Let me know whenever you have to go to. I don't want to hold you too long.
No, you're not holding me. We're good. We have time. I've blocked out an hour for this. So
okay, perfect. And
at least an hour, because I didn't know how long it was going to take. Ooh.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we hit on a bunch of stuff with that. I appreciate what you're doing. I think that's great that you were helping out. As I said, like so many people in the business. Like, I know that I was very blessed. I've worked extremely hard to get to where I am. Extremely hard. I can literally say nothing was ever handed to me. I literally worked for everything because I was discovered performing at open mic nights. That's how I was discovered in Los Angeles. That's how I was discovered in New York City because agents wouldn't give me the time of day in Los Angeles. So I had to go perform at open mic nights. But I'm glad because in that process, I learned the whole entire business.
Right.
From casting directors and casting associates that would show up to those open mic nights and see me perform. And then I would always go first because I wanted to set the bar high.
Right.
So at least in New York, I always went first, and that panned out great because I was working on a series for 5 years and Blue Bloods for 5 years in New York, and then Power, and then FBI.
So cool.
But I learned from them. I built that relationship with them, and therefore they'd be like, "Hey, Brandon, who represents you?" And I'm like, "You know what? Nobody does actually." And they would say, "You know what, Brandon? We like you. We're calling you in anyway." And that's how I ended up booking. So I did that for 20 casting directors, casting associates in Los Angeles, and 19 of them hired me. And so,
Wow.
and then in LA, I'm in New York, it was 5, and all 5 have hired me. So it's just kind of like learning those opportunities. Sometimes what people mean for your harm turns out for your good. And they don't realize that at the time. Even the show, with all the bad that was done to me, I use that as something positive to try to be a platform for people to come on like yourself to talk. And I appreciate you coming on and talking. Nikky, if you could say anything to your younger self, what would it be?
Oh man, so can I give you a long-winded answer to this?
Yes, you have as much time as you want. And also, Nikky, I'm gonna have you back too, also, just so you know.
Okay. So I've been in therapy for like a year, religiously, once a week. And this is relevant to the question.
Yeah, you're good.
And I'm doing internal family systems, which is like parts work. And in parts work, you get to like identify you get to personify and identify the different parts of you that create who we are, right? So we have like inner children, we have managers, we have protectors, firefighters, or whatever. So like controlling parts, and they're all meant to keep us safe at the end of the day, right? So recently in therapy, I was doing EMDR therapy. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but like EMDR therapy. Okay, so EMDR therapy is super intense because it goes back to a time when you were very traumatized, and it like gives you an opportunity to rewrite the narrative or rewrite the story or whatever.
Okay.
And it's like time travel. It's really effing crazy. It's really, really, really effing crazy. So it's kind of like time travel. It's kind of like those movies where you see
Back to the Future?
Kind of, but like, yeah, maybe. I don't remember exactly the details of Back to the Future because I haven't seen it in so long. And I can't think of a movie. I know. Don't judge me. I remember the car, and I remember E.T., and I remember like
E.T.'s not even in Back to the Future.
There you go. It's just all a blur.
Yeah, it's all a blur.
Good.
Yeah, it's all good.
I haven't seen those movies.
It's all good.
I haven't seen those movies in mad long.
It's all good. You're good. You're doing other stuff. Like so basically, it's like
doing other stuff.
Yeah. You're good. It's all good. It's okay.
Back to the Future with E.T.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, these are 2 different movies, but that's okay. Same producer though. Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg did both, so you're good. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. It's a brain fart, but whatever. So after like mad long of therapy, my inner child finally came out.
Okay.
Which was crazy because I hadn't connected with my inner child, found my inner child, whatever. So anyway, my inner child came out, whatever. And we're doing EMDR, and I found her like in the EMDR process. Like I saw her like locked in a closet in my old apartment that I grew up in, right?
Yeah.
And I went in there as my grown self, and I like went in there and I was like, hey, I'm in the this white room. It's really peaceful in here. I just want you to know that I know you don't know me like that, but I'm you from the future. Yeah. And this is gonna sound so crazy.
No, you don't sound crazy.
But I was like, I love you and I'm here for you and I got you. And I know like we have to get to know each other a little bit better. But I'm here now and I want to build a relationship with you. And I want you to know that like you can stay in the closet if you're more comfortable here, but just know that like you have other options and I'm here for you. And I'm only I showed her just go like this and I'm there.
Yeah.
And just go like this and I'm there. I know you don't have a phone, but like just go like this and I'll know and I'll be
Yeah.
there. Just call me. I'll be right there. I know where you are. I know where to find you now. And hopefully we can get you out of this closet.
Yeah.
And we've been building our relationship, and it feels really a lot like time travel. It really feels like time travel because I feel like I'm healing my inner child, the
Yeah.
part of me that's been in that closet, locked in there by herself, that felt alone, that felt like she had nobody, that felt like no one
Yeah.
loved her. And now I pulled up on her and I was able to. So what I've told my inner child and what I've told my younger self
Yeah.
is, and what I would challenge people to tell their inner child is, I love you. I'm here for you, because that inner child is still within you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have a relationship and let them know that you got them, and that
Yeah.
you're never going to let them down, and you got them, and that you're there for them, and that you love them, and that you're just a phone call away. So
Like that.
not even a phone call, but
Yeah, you're right here.
call.
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm right with you. I'm with you.
That's I think that was a great answer, and I like the way you approach that. And like you taught me something, ADMR, which I didn't know about, but that's good that you found out.
EMDR and parts work.
Yeah, and you've been able to kind of like figure out like, hey, this is what that part is in your younger life that if you could go back and tell them like, hey, it's gonna be okay. I got your back. Like it's all gonna work out.
It's all gonna work out. Life is actually lit when you get older.
Yeah,
It's not that bad. It's not that
it really
bad.
is.
We make it. We're
Yeah,
doing it.
we are.
doing
Yeah,
it.
slowly but surely.
Doing it.
I didn't want you to think you're not crazy to me, because I had this random thought the other day. It's so random. I'm like, what if we are actually the versions of ourselves that we're supposed to be at, and from the time we were a kid, we're just catching up to where we are right now? It's kind of weird. So I said like, hey, what if we are already? And I read that somewhere too. Like, what if we already are the person, but we're already in the future where we're that successful person in the future. We're just trying to catch up. The reason you're working so hard, the reason you're pushing yourself so hard, is because that version of you in the future has already made it. And it's up, and then it's dependent on you going along those tracks. So almost, it's kind of weird, like going backwards and forwards. So
Yeah, think about that. That inner child of you, that inner child of me still lives in that closet,
yeah,
in
wow,
that memory. She's still there. She's still in that apartment,
yeah,
that second floor apartment in North Bergen, New Jersey. Like mommy's working crazy, crazy, crazy hours. Daddy's working crazy, crazy hours.
yeah,
Just going in there to meditate in little kid form, whatever that was, or
yeah,
run away because mom's pissed, and you just don't want to hear her screaming at you, or whatever it is, because
yeah,
like moms, they have it hard. They're
yeah.
stressed
They
out.
do.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Or like, and back then there was no internet or chat GPT to tell them about gentle parenting. Like I know that what was gentle parenting back then. Like
yeah.
nobody knew about that.
No, old school.
So exactly. So what was how did we survive that? The closet, hiding
Yeah.
in the closet.
You know what? It's
So
kind of crazy. I used to get whipped as a kid, and I'm glad I did, to be honest with you, because I learned so much from that. Not that you have to whip kids these days, but I'm saying, plus you go to jail if you do. But like, I look at how even kids were either like whipped in our generation, or some were put in timeouts, but you see that there's a difference between how
oh,
you see there's a huge difference now where people aren't entitled. I feel like there's less entitled. There's more entitlement now than ever. But like back in the day, like, if you did something bad, you got spanked, but you didn't have all these situations in lifetime where people flip out, people been shooting up people and stuff like that, because that discipline was there.
yep. I definitely think that there's other ways to attain that respect.
Yeah.
But some people just need to get punched in the face just once.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Seriously. For real. It's because like I kind of say this all the time. I say that like not a lot of people in Los Angeles have had their asses kicked. And I say that, yeah. Oh, you agree. Thank you. Because on the East Coast, we fight. Like if you run your mouth and that person talks trash.
There's no space on the East Coast. You got to share a locker. You're in you're in like a can of sardines on top of people. There's no space. You got a little 1x1 square.
Yep.
All right. And you gotta, you gotta fight. You gotta fight. And I fought, like, let me tell you, I was fighting. I was fighting in high school. I was fighting up until college. I was fighting. And you know what? I'm happy that I was. And my mom also whooped me. And it was a different time for sure. Again, we didn't have the education or the information that we have now. But for the time, with no internet and no chat GPT and no therapy, That's how we came out with respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That's the word right
That's
there.
how we came
Respect.
out with respect. That's how we came out with respect. Because let me tell you something. When I moved to Los Angeles,
Oh yeah, I know. I know.
that was the
I know. Why
first
don't you give
time.
me? I know.
That was the first time in my life I had ever experienced a person that wasn't afraid of the cops. Because no, I never experienced that. We were scared of the cops
Yeah.
growing up. I was
Yeah.
scared of the cops growing up. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
I don't want to say throw anybody under the bus, but I didn't really have a lot of white people around me growing up. And then I came to LA and
Yeah.
people were not scared of the cops. And I was like, what the heck? You're talking like that to a cop? Are you crazy?
Yeah. It's
Like,
wild.
what is
It's
going
wild.
on?
Yeah.
Crazy.
The respect's not there.
And then it's like the same cops that you're talking crazy to. But if I punch you in the face, then you're gonna call the same cop you disrespected. And what the heck is going
Yeah.
on?
This
is so crazy.
Isn't that something? It's backwards. It really is. Like, because
I was
the
like,
words
Back
you
to the
mentioned.
Future ET.
Yeah, seriously, yeah, it's that Back to the Future ET part for real. It's that level, but you said the word, and the word is respect. Like that fighting and stuff like that, that built respect because you
Right.
knew, like, hey,
Twice.
there's consequences. If I say something to somebody and I keep pushing those buttons, that the consequence is yes. So you don't do it,
or I'm gonna get the belt.
Yeah, and then, but over, in LA, it's, oh, you hit somebody, we're gonna sue you. Like, wait, what?
It's like, well, why did I hit you though?
Yeah, like wait, what? Like, yo, we can just duke this out. And honestly, that's how the generations were raised in the East Coast. I can tell you, I know. But yeah, so that's a little interesting little part I just had to touch on. I wanted to make sure that I hit one thing I appreciate you doing as well is like how you raise your son. How old is your son? Can I ask? Or age between what?
He's 1 year and 9 months.
Oh, he's young.
He's a baby.
Oh, nice. Oh, you got plenty of time. I love kids. I really do. I'm like the cool uncle.
Okay, I love that.
I'm the cool uncle. I have like one nephew by blood, but I have, I think, 10 altogether by friends, and then I have 2 goddaughters that are half Italian, half Indian in New York, Queens, New York, who I love to death, and they are firecrackers. I take them to school a lot of times when I'm working in New York. I take them to school in the mornings or pick them up. But well, dang, I guess, if your kid's that young, I don't have to really touch on that one too much. Well, actually, what's it like being, like, how do you balance your work life, mom life, and all that with having a 1.5-year-old?
You just do it.
Hey, boom, there you go.
It's crazy. Like, moms are just superheroes. I don't know.
They really
have no answer for you. I don't have an answer for you. It's got to get done, so it gets done. This baby's got to eat. This baby's got to poop. This baby's got to be raised. It's got to get done. There is no option. Like, I got to do it. So everything, and I still got to put a roof over his head. The bills still got to get paid. The food still got to get paid. Like, so it just, the Lord provides. So that's all I got to say. The Lord provides.
Amen.
Lord, God is how I do it. That's
amen.
How I do it.
Amen.
God does it.
I love that. I had to, because I appreciate you, because I'll speak and I'll say it. I appreciate what women do, moms do, especially because there's so many deadbeat dads out there, and I'm saying it. You don't have to say it. I'm saying it. There's a lot of deadbeat dads out there that don't do that. But then again, I have friends that have ex-wives that are deadbeat moms, and that's the sad part. And I see them fighting for their sons, and I see that the mom isn't doing anything. So that's fewer and far between that I've seen. But I happen to know both sides of it because I happen to have guy friends that go with that. But then also I have friends that are deadbeats. No, I don't have friends that are deadbeats, but I know people that are deadbeats. I'm just like, dude, I don't have much respect for you for that.
Man, it's just like, it's hard. Like, I do think that we're in a spiritually awakened time where people are breaking generational trauma and healing and want to do better than our previous generations. Like, I do feel that way, but I've also seen a lot of low vibrational stuff, and like a lot of people that aren't that are too far hurt that they can't recover, too. And I don't know. I have a different perspective now on relationships, on marriage, on family than I did before after having my child. I think that I'm much more pro marriage than I was before, because I think I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't get married to my son's father, and we ended up breaking up. And I think that, like, I think that now I value marriage so much more, and I think it's so much more important than I used to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there was this whole trend of like people not getting married and just having kids, and it was like
Yeah. Wow.
normalized.
Yeah. Wow.
It was like normalized. It was like normalized, and I didn't think it was a big deal, but now I think it's a big deal. I think I believe in marriage, and I think people should get married.
Okay.
I mean, if they want to, but I
Yeah.
would like I'm not doing this again without being married.
Yeah. Understand.
I'm not doing this again without being married. No way.
Yeah. No, I understand. I definitely see what you're saying. And like, yeah, it can be, I commend you because as a mom, you're doing both parts right now. Not to do
Well, I will say because I don't want to like create
we
the
don't
wrong.
even,
I just want to say he's a great dad. So
okay,
I just want to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good there. So let's see here. I want to make sure that I hit everything that I wanted to hit. And so I'll have you back in case there's anything. Is there any questions that I have a little list over here that I don't normally use, and I don't think that I need to use it too. How did you get from New York to LA?
You mean like plane or driving or?
Yes, I mean plane or driving. What made you decision to like, hey, like, look, New York, you've been great. You'll always be here. It's time for me to take my dreams to the next level and go to Los Angeles. Because I think that every person from the East Coast should live in the West Coast. I think every person from the West Coast should come out to the East Coast and get that culture shock for real. Because I feel like there are two different cultures.
So I put in a transfer behind my parents' back at my job at the time.
Okay.
Because I was trying to leave and my dad kept guilting me out of it.
Yeah.
So then I just put in a transfer with my job and I got it. And I was like, I have to move. I got to transfer to Los Angeles.
I appreciate the honesty.
Well, I was trying to like get out, but I couldn't like get past the guilt of, so then I kind of knew that like if I put in my transfer and I got it, it was kind of like, well, it's not really my fault. I kind of just got this transfer and I gotta go. So it was, I put it on another factor and was being a little manipulative, but
you don't have to be ashamed. I see you looking down like you're like, oh God, I can't believe I'm admitting this. You didn't have to admit it. You could have made something up.
Well, I'm not a liar.
Okay, well that's a good quality then. That's actually a great quality.
I'd rather just say it because you know what? Like I own my truth. I think that I've made mistakes in my life and they've shaped me and I like me. So it's like it's okay. I mean, I might not have been my proudest moment, but it was a moment and it got me to where I am today. So it's like it's cool.
Okay.
Well, just a little uncomfortable saying it for the first time. But
that's all right. That's why we say buckle up whenever you come on the show because you're buckling up because we don't know where the journey is going to take us. But one of the things my dad used to always say, Nikky, is this: we're all human and we all make mistakes. And I said that at his funeral, quoting him, but it's something that I've always lived by because at the time he had actually bailed two of my buddies out from jail in college, and he said that we're all human, we all make mistakes. And that's something that people need to realize. You can't judge. Everybody makes a mistake. If you repeat the mistake, then you're doing it on purpose. But if you make that one mistake, it's okay to forgive people. Forgiveness there's a strength in forgiveness. But if you're doing something intentionally, that's a different story. So, but yeah, well, Nikky, you've been wonderful. If you have any questions of me, if not, I will have you back. I definitely will have you back. You're welcome back anytime. Like, hey, I want to talk about something. I've had several guests who've been on twice and 3 times. So you're going to be on here again too.
Of course. Well, I really appreciate you reaching out. I really appreciate you having me. I really appreciate the work that you're doing. I really appreciate you giving people a platform to share their stories. And to anyone out there, just keep your head up, keep your chin up. I know the world is a really dark place right now and it could be really, really, really hard. But just know that you're here for a reason and just one foot in front of the other. Chin up, buckle up, chin up.
Yeah. There goes the poet right there, Nikky. I like it.
Chin up.
And then Nikky, one more thing. Do you go by Nikky Bourbon or do you go by Nicole Guzman? What would if people want to find
Nikky Bourbon. Nikky Bourbon. I'm trying to change my name on Instagram to Nicole Guzman, but I can't because I'm verified. But Nikky Bourbon's my artist name. It's been my artist name for a long time. So that's how people would find me. But I'm trying to do what Childish Gambino did now and kind of like go into my Nicole Guzman era where I'm like, this is my alter ego.
Yeah, I got you.
We'll get there.
On that. Nikky, sorry, I just want to make it real quick because I know you got to go. Where did you come up with the bourbon?
I'm okay. Don't rush. Like we're okay. We're
Where
okay.
did you
We're okay.
your stage name or your screen? Where'd you come up with Nikky Bourbon from? Or yeah, I
So
like it.
So it's, I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it, but it's been so long. It's like whatever at this point. So, okay, long story short, my first artist name was Nikky Graffiti, and it was Nikky Graffiti because, and I wish I would have kept it, but it was Nikky Graffiti, and it was because my dad was on the at the time in New York where hip hop was really like graffiti was starting to like pop
Yeah.
off. And my dad's best friends were in Style Wars, and like one of my dad's best friends designed the BET award, and they were like big graffiti people.
Oh my
And
God.
it was just like, yeah, it was just like hip hop, you know, like my dad was on the like forefront of like that cultural like revolution in New York City, and like graffiti was like my thing.
Yeah.
And then one day I went out with my friends, and I used to listen a lot to like Billie Holiday and Frank Sinatra and Nina Simone in my car. And it was like
Oh wow.
really obnoxious. It was like really obnoxious, and Nancy Sinatra and shit. So like I was always just weird like that. Like not
Yeah.
weird, but like it was a little weird for like me to just pull up I had a Chevy Impala Super Sport at the time, and I'm like
Okay.
listening to like Frank Sinatra, and people are like, yo, this girl, like she's so funny, you know? And one day we were out and we were at a margarita bar, and everybody was ordering margaritas and I was ordering old fashions.
Okay.
So I pulled
Hey,
up in
old
my Chevy.
fashions are good though.
I know, but it was just the whole like the vibe. It's like I'm in my Chevy Impala Super Sport listening to Billie Holiday and Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra, and then I go to this margarita bar and everybody's ordering margaritas and I'm ordering old fashioned. So then my friend Chapin started calling me Nikky Bourbon,
Yeah.
just to like, yeah, he was like Nikky Bourbon, Billie Holiday and old fashioned. Like they were just like
Yeah.
making fun of me, and it just stuck. And I was like, you
Man.
know what? I like that. I like bourbon because it's strong and smooth, you know, and it's masculine and deep and like woody and smoky and like all the
Yeah.
things that I feel like I am. So I was just like, I could rock with this. So it ended up just becoming my new name. I put out like so then I changed it to BRBN for a
Okay.
while, and I just been putting out music under these aliases, Nikky Bourbon. So it went from BRBN to Nikky Bourbon when I got signed to the Latin label, because
Yeah.
nobody could pronounce, like, what were the Latinos gonna say? BRBN? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a song. BRBN. No, that's not gonna work. But then I didn't realize that Nikky Bourbon was probably equally as bad for the
Yeah.
Latino community. But you know, whatever. We're growing. We're learning.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Nikky, one thing first off, I don't know, you can ask him. It's okay if it's a no. We had a guy on here named Angel. Angel is from Connecticut originally, but he also lived in New York. Angel was a big grapher, a big graffiti guy, 70s and 80s in New York City and Connecticut. So with your dad being a grapher, I would love to hear his story about that if he'd ever come on and talk about it.
Oh yeah, my dad would love. My dad was not. He was into graffiti, but he was nowhere near as famous as my my dad's two best friends, which are like my uncles, became.
Okay.
So Mayor 139 and Kel First, and you can like look them up. Mayor 139 ended up designing the BET award. But
Okay.
yes, my dad has all the tea on Spanish Harlem and the hip hop revolution, and like I could definitely
Please
put him. I think he's here. I mean, do you want to say hi, or and then
I'll say hi to him real quick. Yeah, if he's there, I'd love to.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
on.
see. Dad. Never mind. He bounced.
Okay, it's all good, Nikky. If I can,
He took the bait.
I would love, because New York's where my heart's at. It's always been. I would love to have your dad back on here to talk about that. And Spanish and all that.
Yeah, my dad can definitely tell you all about Spanish Harlem, like growing up there. And honestly, like it was a big part of my childhood. Like it was a huge part of my childhood. We would go to El Barrio, we would go to 110th and Machito Square, and we'd sit at La Placita and we play dominoes, and the congueros would be in the back and they would be selling Heinekens like out of a cooler, and we'd be playing basketball, and I'd be just there chilling in my diaper, like chilling, like on the block, you know, with a fire extinguisher gushing like that was my childhood, and it was amazing. It was
This is
amazing.
awesome.
And the Puerto Rican flag was hanging everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere,
Dude, I
everywhere,
love
everywhere,
this.
everywhere. And it was a full circle moment for me when I actually was able to headline the Puerto Rican the festival,
Really?
the La Mega stage. Yeah, I was able to headline it, and it was really cool because we had our own float for the parade. Like,
Okay.
on the parade, I was part of a float, and my parents were on the freaking float with me.
Oh, heck
And
yeah.
yes, and they had the huge Puerto Rican flags, and my mom sat all the way in the front of the float on the right side, and my dad sat all the way on the front of the float on the left side. And they were waving the flag, and I was just like, yo, this is dope, because I remember being a little girl in El Barrio and going to the parade and going to the festival when I was a little girl and looking at the float and dreaming about that being me one day.
And you made it.
And I made it, but not only that, I brought my parents with me. So that was really cool.
No, it's a full circle. I am proud of you in such a full circle moment. Even in your, like, I mean, the proudness you should have, and that how that must have felt for you. It's like thank you, God. Like, I reached this moment. I'm here. My parents are able to see it. That is man, that's amazing. Nikky, Nikky, one, I'm gonna have that be back because I want to get deep into I have another person coming on, but I want to get deep into the New York stuff with you and all that. And with your dad too. So I'm gonna have you back. Nikky, do me a favor, email me the photo you want to use for your podcast station, because I will have this. I'll have it done probably by 8 o'clock tonight.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah. And look, you've been absolutely wonderful. Like I said,
you've been wonderful.
I'm all right. You're what made this episode special. And you're a blessing. And a term I don't use that often is when I find a kindred soul, and you're definitely that to me, because we have a lot in common. So I appreciate you coming on. It's nice to officially meet you, and I'll have you back. And then I want to have your dad on as well.
For sure. Thank you so much, Brandon. I look forward to talking to you again. Have a beautiful day, and shout out to the next guest.
Absolutely. Bye. All right, bye. We always give everyone a round of applause. Take care.
Okay, bye.